personality test. Train your motherfucking unicorn if you think you got one. Or find out if you got one or you don't and get the bitch out of your life, because you're going to have nothing but trouble. Nothing but fucking trouble. Because I don't care what your personality type is. If you're a feminist bitch, as a Mgtow, you don't want them. You cannot turn a whore into a housewife. And it is for that reason that I say, hey, I'm sorry. If you're past a certain age, the odds of you getting an 18 to a 24-year-old unicorn that's not married with kids, your odds are cooked. You know, this idea of, well, she was a good wife and she's now divorced. No. They're going to tell you how good they take care of you. And men, Mgtow, you know this story. You know how they'll tell you how good they're going to take care of you. You know that bullshit line. If you find a widow, maybe she killed her fucking husband, poisoned his ass, or drove him insane and he committed suicide. You never fucking know. But I know the odds of finding one are fucking slim. Slim to none after the age of 25. Because if they're that good, if they're worth marrying, someone will have married them. Fact. Now, any woman can watch this and go, well, I'm a unicorn and the men just don't treat me right. Whatever. It doesn't matter. I know how good I am and I don't care. I don't care if women like me or not. I don't give a fuck. Because they don't matter in my life. They don't. I've gone my own way. Right? Like I said, I know of unicorns. I know thousands of people. I've met and run into tens of thousands of people in my life, professionally and personally. And I got to tell you, the vast majority are totally rotten cunts that I want to have nothing to do with, either personally or professionally. But unicorn training, you'll discover, maybe you'll learn on your own how it works. But this has been my experience. I know a unicorn very well. It's not mine, belongs to someone else. But they do exist. They do believe that they should have the man's best interest at heart, so that he can take care of her and love her fully. What that doesn't do, men, is that doesn't relieve you of the burden of owning the horse or the dog or the cat or any other thing in your life. Even the unicorn has an expense. So you can't say, well, she's like every other woman, she costs me money. Of course she fucking costs you money. Right? The unicorn accepts you working for her and loves you for it. Right? This is the trick. How do you know if it's a unicorn or not? Personality tests. Shit tests. Shit test the fuck out of them. But if you really think it's a unicorn, do it nicely. You know, there's nice ways to treat them to find out. And maybe I'll do a video on how to shit test women in your life to find out who they are. What I can tell you is do that Myers-Briggs test. Learn about their personality. Look at what they need. But I'm telling you, a unicorn is a very fucking dangerous animal, just like any other animal. They'll run you over, run away from you, or gore you to death. You've got to train them. You've got to put the time and effort into them. You've got to spend money on them. So you have to decide, even if you found one, do you want to make that investment? The ones I know, they don't leave their husbands, no matter how shitty the guy is, or how much money they could steal from him through alimony, child support, and retirement funds, and overall assets. I know of them. They're out there. They're real. But do you want to take the time? That's what you have to ask yourself if you were to have one. If you don't want to take the time, then don't fucking bother with them, right? If you don't want to bother looking for them because you're too old, like me, I'm 46, pretty fucking old, right? The odds of finding a unicorn for me, pretty fucking slim. I'm not looking. Why even bother? Okay, or if you just, you don't want to take the time, the energy, the effort, the money, the heartache, the potentially getting trampled or gored through the heart, right? Then don't fucking bother. And that's the cool thing about being Mgtow. That's the cool thing about being Mgtow, is go your own way. Make your own decision. Even if you believe in unicorns, you don't have to go looking for one. Who the fuck says you have to do that? Nobody. That is the cool fucking part of going your own way. It's like looking at everyone and they go, why don't you have a woman, John? Because I don't fucking want one. Right? Then they try that guilt shit. No. Find someone that'll take good care of you. I don't want it. If I want someone to clean my house, I'll pay someone to clean my house. You know, so that's unicorn training, guys. Unicorns. Do you give a fuck? I don't. It doesn't matter. But a lot of you guys wanted to know. What do you do with unicorns? You got to spend money, spend time, train them. You've got to love them the way they need to be loved. And you'll know, here's a big fucking clue, if they love you the way you want to be loved. And if you put a shit test in front of them and see what they do with it. Right? Give them a little bit of fucking rope and see if they hang themselves with it. Or try hanging you with it. You'll find out. Here's another one. Go to the mom. Go to the source. If the fucking mom is a bitch, odds are she's going to be a bitch. And you'll find out in a matter of weeks. There's a lot of imposters, right? Nawalts. Not all women are like that. They're fucking pretenders. They're chameleons. There's an awful lot of chameleons out there. Right? And what they'll do is they'll brag about how good they'll take care of you. In order to find out what a unicorn thinks, you basically have to press them. You have to ask them. They're much quieter than other animals. But I have to agree, they are just as dangerous. And they make mistakes, just like regular women. Because they are just women. Just like we are just men. So that is my unicorn diatribe. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it's of some benefit. I hope for all those guys out there that go, John, you're a tradcon. That gives you some explanation into my thinking. You know, what goes on in my head, how I think of women. I think 95% of them are fucking worthless. Because they've been destroyed and spoiled. Right? You take a unicorn, you cut the fucking legs off of it, put cheetah legs on it. Right? Give it some zebra fur here and there, and some fake boobs, right? You've got a fake unicorn, right? That's all a Nawalt is, or any of these other women, these chameleons. They're fakes. They're not the real deal. You take a real unicorn and you teach it to be something else. Now it's spoiled for life. Spoiled for life. I guess I should make that term. It's ruined, right? Any woman that has been subjected to feminist indoctrination is ruined for life. She will never fully recover. She will always resist. She will always fight back. She's always going to shit test you. That's the other worry and problem. Even unicorns can get fucking ruined by feminism. That's why they're so rare. And that's why you guys, if you've never seen one, don't know about them. I've seen a lot of women pretend to be unicorns. Have their husbands fooled. He thinks he's got a good woman. And I watch the dirty shit they do. Because I know what to fucking look for. Just like you guys as Mgtow know what to look for. Happy hunting. Happy training. And happy spending. For all of you unicorn hunters out there. I'm a realist. Right? Here I am. Unicorns exist. I don't have one. Alright guys. This is John, host of Mgtow is Freedom. Thanks again for everything. Thanks for subscribing. Subscribe. Click like if you like. Click on sponsors if you wish. That helps pay the bills. Right? And share. Any video you like, share with your friends. And especially share with other men. Right? If you feel I explain something well, send guys here. If you think Sandman, Mgtow 101, any of those guys. If you think they do a great job, send people their way. At least get their feet wet in Mgtow, and then they can decide and choose for themselves. Because I believe once you tell a man he can think for himself, he can start to think for himself. When you tell a man he can be free, he'll go, what do you mean free? You mean I don't have to put up with all this shit anymore? Then they'll start doing it. They'll start thinking and start taking the steps. And we need more men aware. Because while some people are out there hunting unicorns, the rest of us are fighting a fucking war. It is a battle for the freedom of humanity. It is the Mgtow battle. It is the masculine battle. against feminism and the feminist agenda. Like I say, I can go from personal stuff right up to the big picture. And there is a bigger picture. But you cannot join the battle until you've fixed yourself and trained and hardened yourself as a fucking soldier, as a man, as Mgtow. Semper Fi.